Hey, what's up everybody? This is Chris with Digital Rim. In this episode, I'm actually going to show you how to adjust your auto white balance to manual mode so it can go better with your light setup for your studio. This is the continuation in the previous video where I showed you how to set up your studio with the new lights. If you noticed in the previous video, the white balance or the exposure was going up and down, so it was getting brighter, then it started to get darker. It was getting brighter on its own. So what we're going to do is show you how to set your camera to manual mode with the G7 Luminix, so that you can control these settings or control your white balance moving forward. So you'll have a steady shot with a steady exposure, and it won't over expose or underexposure subject, and you'll get a pretty good shot. So moving forward, I'll just show you how to do this real quick with your camera. Again, we're using a G7 Luminix, Panasonic Luminix. So let's get right to it. So we're starting with the Panasonic G7 Luminix camera. We're going to go ahead and toggle it on. Okay, so now the first thing we're going to do is change our setting to manual mode. So what we're going to do is hit menu, go to exposure here. I'll go back so you can see it's in under motion pictures. Go to exposure, hit the menu button again, and then we're going to go from priority down to M for manual. Go ahead and hit the menu button again to select, and now we're in manual mode. So now when you go back to your display, you can use the rollers to actually increase your ISO and your aperture, or your ISO and your shutter speed. So you see here, increasing the shutter speed, decreasing the shutter speed. And it goes from the darkest to brighter. So this allows it to take it out of automatic mode, and now you can set these for your lighting, and they will not change throughout your entire shot. So I'm going to go ahead and give you another a rundown in a different type of way, just so you can see. I don't know how your camera is currently set up, but we're just going to show you the differences here. So we're going to go into ISO. So now you can see that we push the ISO button on the top part of the menu, or the top button on the menu section here, and the white balance here on the right side. And you can see there's all numbers. There's 200, 400, so on and so forth, to represent what you can select. But here under white balance, you can see it's still set to auto white balance, and we're actually going to keep that, because it's not necessarily the white balance we want to change. We want to change the ISO and the shutter speed. We want to keep them constant. So that's the reason I'm taking it off of P mode. So you can see here again, ISO has 200, 400, 800, 1600, 3200. And as you use the scroll wheel to scroll between, you can see the exposure changes between all the settings. That's in manual mode. But let's go back to set it into priority mode, and you can see that when we go back to ISO, at the beginning here, past 200, there's an ISO auto that wasn't available before. So when you're in P mode, it sets to this ISO auto. But if you take it out of P mode and put it into manual mode, it locks in with whichever ISO that you set. So we're going to go ahead and put it back in the manual mode. Now you can see the automatic features toggled off. And that's pretty much how you fix that problem with the lightings, the exposure going in and out for your studio.